third lockdown, and so that means we can't rehearse. And there were a few things that obviously we did during rehearsals which we're not going to be able to do. So other than the fact that we can't work on the new album, which is really frustrating, we won't be able to do any rig rundowns the way we did before, and we won't be able to record like the new songs we're working on, and then so give the videos and the songs. So we're going to have to think of some creative ways of getting around those problems, I think, this month. So it's going to be an interesting month, definitely, from that point of view. And we've got a few ideas of things that we're going to do, you know, of possible ways around it, and even like the walk down Monmouth Lane, because everybody's supposed to be staying inside and not going out unless it's for exercise. We might have to think of something creative to do for that. So pretty much all the videos we make, apart from maybe ones like the questions and answers, they're probably going to stay the same, but everything's going to have a slightly different tinge this month. In terms of the playthrough, we're probably going to do Woebetide, and we've decided that we're probably going to ask people like the questions earlier on this month for the Q&A. And we've had an idea of how we could maybe get around the rig rundown, and that's by doing a sort of a drum rundown thing with Raj. And we decided we're going to ask people which song they want to hear. I mean, it won't be able to be a whole song that he's going to teach us how to play. It will be more of a drum section of a song that he'll just break down and show how he did it, kind of thing. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting month. So I'll leave you now to the weird little montage, and then come back at the end of the month and let you know how this difficult month has been and how we've managed to cope with things. Okay, cheers, see you later. Okay, welcome to the second half of this month's vlog. And so, as I suspected at the start, it was going to be quite a challenging month, and it was, because we had to adapt some of the way we made a lot of the videos. If I start with the things that we didn't have to change that much, so the Q&A session, that was run pretty smoothly. You guys gave us some great questions. We divided them up amongst the three of us to the ones that we kind of felt that each of us could answer, and we gave the answers to them. I think it went pretty cool. Starting to get a nice format with that now, and it's quite amusing with all the little edits and stuff like that, and it's quite fun actually, the Q&A session. I think we're all starting to look forward to that each month, which is good. And then the next thing, obviously we weren't able to rehearse because of lockdown, and we would normally release some behind the scenes sort of footage and usually a sample of a song. Now we couldn't do that because we weren't able to rehearse, weren't able to work on a new song. So we actually have some things called pre-production demos, which is something which you actually record in a multi-track on a laptop, and then that's something that you send off to the producer, and they never usually get heard by the public a lot of the time. And we decided to actually share one of those with you. It's for a song called Jovian Sky. It's going to be on the new album, and it's an instrumental track. It's about Jupiter, and I made a little video for it with all lots of images of Jupiter and stuff like that, and there's a Carl Sagan sample over the top of it, and it's kind of jazzy, a little bit psychedelic. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that and watched the video and even downloaded the little sample track of it, so you get a little bit of the new album really, really early. So I hope you guys liked that. Then obviously we did the usual playthrough, and you guys chose the song, which was Woebetide, and that was really fun to do actually this month. It's an upbeat song, and it meant that when we got all the footage together, there was some quite fast editing going on. I ended up feeling like I was making a music video, I'll be honest with you, which is kind of cool because it gave it a lot of pace, and I enjoyed doing that. And I think it sort of gets across a little bit of the energy of the performance we have live in a video, which is quite difficult to do sometimes, but I think we achieved it. And then obviously because we did the playthrough of Woebetide, I also did the song breakdown of Woebetide, where I talked about the lyrics and themes behind the song. And I also talked about more importantly, the evolution of the song. And with that song in particular, there is quite an arc to the evolution. There is a very basic, chill acoustic track, which is where the whole idea started, that is almost completely unrecognisable from the final bombastic track that it ends up as. And you get to see through little phone recordings that I share with you on the song breakdown the evolution of that song, and it's quite interesting, so definitely worth a watch, that one. And then obviously we came on to the things that were slightly more complicated to do. So the walk down Monmouth Lane, obviously I would normally revisit a place that has a significance to us, as a band. Now, of course, I can't go anywhere because it's locked down. I ended up revisiting some videos that I filmed last time we were in the studio when we were recording The Ties That Bind, and I sort of stitched them all together, and it's quite a nice little snippet of what it's like to be in the studio and the kind of things we get up to, and sort of the mixing process. And it's just a nice little memory, I guess, which is what the whole thing's all about. So that was cool. Managed to just about blag my way through that one. And then the rig rundown, which is also something that we would sometimes record in a rehearsal, we also couldn't do. So this time we came up with something a little bit different, is where we sort of took a piece of a song. It was a bit of In Our Sacred Skin, and Raj basically, I guess, effectively taught a lesson. In fact, we ended up calling it Raj's drum lesson, on how he worked out and how he plays the drums for that little bit of the song. And of course, Raj is a drum teacher, he's obviously very good at doing that, and he breaks it right down to the very basic beat and then slowly builds it up, and you see how it turns into the recognisable thing, the part of the song. And even if you're not a drummer, I think it's quite interesting to watch just how he constructs the rhythms and the amount of time he puts into it. Really, it's quite cool. And yeah, so, you know, it was a tough month, but like, we worked our way around pretty much everything, and hopefully you guys have been enjoying the content. And yeah, just keep spreading the word. I mean, the more people you can tell about this Patreon, the better, really, because you guys know now, you know what kind of content we produce, so you guys are the best spokespeople for us. Let people know about it. The more we grow this, the more people we get, the more expansive videos that we can make, the more interesting we can make everything, really. So yeah, keep spreading the word, and I'll see you next month. Cheers, bye.